From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LA with huge news about your stocks, your bonds, your crypto, and your Forced Stimulus Check update of 2022. In today's recording, we go over those June 2022 direct deposit Forced Stimulus checks that are landing in bank accounts. We'll go over those incredible checks, which I found on this channel back in March. They're coming in the month of June by direct deposit, and they're huge. Then we'll be turning to changing developing details on the Build Back Better Act that would give you additional checks on top of that. Next up is the SS300 that would give you a raise of your path that's $200 on top of that. Not just 1 month, not just 1 year, but a lifetime. Huge news across the board. Then we turn to the changing developing details of that 6 stimulus. With a major deal supposed to have been patched yesterday, did it get done? Yes, it's out of Brussels. Not Brussels sprouts, but the Brussels city. Well, the latest details and everything you need to know across the board. As you go into the final day of a Memorial Day weekend, we're going to go over why the price of gasoline is likely to go higher. We'll have the latest predictions on the stock market crash of 2022, the latest predictions on the housing market crash of 2022, and then, of course, that recession of 2023. No less than 2 months ago, I told you that a stimulus stampede, yes, stimulus stampede will be coming to the channel in 3 months. We're now 2 months away, and that is coming now to a fruition, as a series of analysts now say that a financial carnage is just less than 3 months away. I'll be looking at the latest details on that front as well. It's a big Memorial Day weekend. It's a big Memorial Day. And the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, the coffee is brewing. Also, grilling is the grill. The grill is grilling, and the corn is corning. But the great news is that a Forced Stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Step 1 to get that incredible check, I'm going to show you how to get over this 1-hour broadcast live on air from the shores of Santa Monica, is subscribe. Step 2, become a member. And then step 3, stay with me over this 1-hour broadcast and get those June 2022 direct deposit Forced Stimulus checks. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, let's get to the breaking news. Let's get to the big morning. It's a big day with lots of checks and lots of predictions for the rest of the week. The details start right now as Mornings gets underway. And good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Hope the weather is good where you are. Of course, it's beautiful here along the coast in Santa Monica, California for Memorial Day weekend and, of course, Memorial Day itself. Millions of Americans will be going to the beaches. Millions of Americans will be hitting the road, and they'll need stimulus because the price of gasoline is high, but it ain't high as it's going to go. It's going to go even higher. That is why I found you a Forced Stimulus check, and get ready for those Forced Stimulus checks by direct deposited June 2022. They're coming up in this recording. Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, become a member. And step 3, get that newsletter that goes over those incredible checks. I'm going to go over these incredible checks coming up in a second later in this recording. The changing, evolving nature of this economy will get a real big, interesting push this week. As we saw the retail sales last week implode the U.S. economy, we have now the stock market crash of 2022, the housing market crash of 2022, and the price of gasoline is not done going up. We'll be going over that in just a second. But first, let's start with the Build Back Better Act that would give you more checks on top of those Forced Stimulus checks that are coming in June 2022 and I'm covering later in this recording. 3 clusters and 3 add-ons. We're going to go over those incredible clusters of checks in prime time on Evenings LA Tonight, a brand new show, but there's a $15,000 to $80,000 of checks. The provisions in there are being negotiated by Joe Manchin and Chuck Schumer. So which provisions would survive and which would not? $25,000 for the purchase of a first home, yes, that would survive. The $250 billion of free home health care and seniors and disabilities, that would not survive. The MSC, likely to survive. Then when we go to the individual clusters, that first cluster, everything would likely survive in there. We're going to go over more about those items in that first cluster in prime time. In the second cluster, the paid leave in that second cluster would not survive. And then in the third cluster, everything for Medicare expansion would not survive. How do we know this? Well, we know this from 2021. Joe Manchin made very clear that he supports the Build Back Better Act, wants to get it done, and he said that in the last few days as well. But there are certain provisions he made very clear last year he would not do. Paid leave and expansion of Medicare because he believes the system is broken. Other than that, he's never been anything out but support for the Build Back Better Act. The negotiations are underway with a very quick turnaround time, potentially this June 2022, between Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin. How quickly did they need to get this done? Let's calculate it out. Let's pull out the calendar, colleague. Where are you? They need to get this checks to you before the midterm election. You don't vote in November. You vote by mail 3 months ahead of time. So let's step it back. October, September, August. Okay, so the check needs to land in your hand by August. That means they need to send it out by July. That means they got to finalize the vote by June. There you go. Right on the money. This is why, if they watch this channel, which I'm sure they did, if they watched this channel back in 2020, they learned that you don't do stimulus after the election. Because after the election, you lose it, then you're just sending stimulus out for the next person. We learned that from Donald Trump in 2020, when I said, you want to win the election, you send out stimulus right before people vote, not after they vote. There we go. And part of the equation that's really at issue today is, of course, that Senate seat out of Georgia, the Raphael Warnock Senate seat. He has a very big balance of power at issue, and he needs to win that seat. That is why they want to get those checks out the door. Now, you don't need to wait for Build Back Better Act, because I got your checks right now. Direct deposited June 2022 for stimulus checks now in every U.S. state. How do you get it subscribed? Step 2, become a member. Step 3, stay with me, and they're coming up later in this recording. Now, let's turn to the other part of the equation of the other situations involving across the board. The elements that help a Build Back Better Act get done are weak economic news. And the weak economic news is that you have to find and go with the big bad economic news and run with it. And we had a lot of it. We're going to feature more about it tonight on Eating to LA, but let me tell you some of the data at issue. 1, jobless claims. I'm very, very worried about these jobless claims. 200,000 new jobless claims last Thursday. But I'm more concerned about what the viewers on the live chat are reporting. If you're on the live chat right now, tell me if you see this happen in your stores. I hear it a lot in the Midwest. What I'm hearing right now is in the Midwest, a lot of the viewers in the live chat saying they're going to the checkout stand and they don't see three employees anymore. They just see the computer, the scanning computer. They also say their neighbors and friends say a lot of layoffs are happening. Why am I concerned about this? Because we had guidance about this from Walmart's corporate earnings 2 weeks ago. When they say the merchandise is not moving and we have too many store merchants in the store, they specifically said they brought too many people back from COVID to start working in the store. This is the type of language that basically says too many employees, let's get rid of some of them. My concern is that 200,000 new jobless claims last Thursday is too high. It's too high. That was the number going into the pandemic, and here we are. We're out of the pandemic, and the number is still too high. And it's certainly before a recession. In a recession, you have hiring freezes where no one gets hired. So that's the first bad economic data news. The second one is the shrinkage of the gross national product. The gross national product is how big this U.S. economy is growing. And if it's not growing, it's contracting. If it's contracting, it's going into recession. Last February, I was the first to report we're going into recession next year. At the time, no one was reporting that except me. Now it's the talk of the town. But how quickly are we going there? And why is the support for Build Back Better Act? Well, back in April, the GDP, the gross national product of the U.S. economy, is supposed to be a 7.1% growth. It came into 6.9. Then the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, nonpartisan group, and the Department of Labor, of course, the Labor Department, released data in the last week that said, no, we're shrinking. We are shrinking very quickly. And I had said that the GDP will come down to 0% by the end of the year because I say recession next year. They now say 1 to 2% by the end of the year. Whoa, we're getting close on the money. We're getting really close on the money. So again, that's another reason why to do Build Back Better Act. Number three, Americans are really struggling right now, and I want you to really differentiate what's between now and what's coming on. It is confusing for some people, but let me explain. What you're doing right now is called inflation. That is the higher price of goods and gasoline and items like that. That is not recession. Recession is a different type of beast and far more worse. That's not with us just yet. We do not have labor problems yet. At the moment, we're trying to pivot from labor shortage to another situation. And we do have certain industries really, in my opinion, are in a recession. I believe the housing industry is in recession. The auto industry is in recession. And I believe that those interest rates will really start to hurt people really badly very quickly. Why? If you have car payments, if you have credit card debt, the J Powell is going to have that June FOMC meeting in just a few weeks. And my prediction is he's going to do a half a basis point June, half basis point July, quarter basis point August. Will give down inflation? No. Will rise up your costs for things at home? Absolutely. Because you have a lot of items that are based upon flexible interest rates. Try to eliminate as many of them at home as possible right now. Lock in a fixed interest rate for anything you can. But J Powell is raising those interest rates. So that is another reason that the financial instability is really there. Of course, we have the bear market. The bear market is different than a recession. And you saw how Target went down 40%, Walmart down, Snap, the technology company, down 40% in one day, not a week, in one day. And that is just the start. Why? Because the bear market means that the economy is going down 26% over that bear run. Well, we're already down 26%. So could we go lower? Yes. When you have a bear market and a recession, which we haven't started yet, you go down 40% as an economy. The stocks will go down 40%, and that is the entire industry. So let me explain this very simply for you. If you own, for example, Target stock, and you saw it go down 40% in one day, that's not the 40% I'm referring to. I'm referring to the entire Dow Jones, the entire NASDAQ, down 40%. So yeah, you have a long way down to go. It's very serious. It is very, very serious. That's why they say in a new report released this last week out of Silicon Valley, financial carnage is coming. Financial carnage is coming. And it's what I also call stimulus stampede. Stimulus stampede, because millions of Americans are going to see their lives really change dramatically very quickly. And that is why, back in the month of March, before stimulus stampede started, viewers of the show said, LA, do you got a check for me? Do you got a forced stimulus check for me? That Build Back Better Act hasn't been done. Can you find one? And I looked high and low, and I found them. I found them. If you're new to this channel, let me tell you what I do on LA. This is the #3 most watched financial news channel in America, but I cover the markets. I also give you guidance of where the economy is going. But more importantly, I also get you checks. I don't report on stimulus. There's a big difference. People sit in front of a blank wall and maybe a YouTube plaque behind them and just read a script. They're just reporting on stimulus. They're not getting you stimulus. I get you stimulus. And I've been doing this since day one. And what I want you to know right now is that June 2022 has big forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. And I'm going to show you how to get those by direct deposit right now. I don't want you to wait till August. Why? In August, it's going to be a stimulus stampede, as millions of Americans will lose their jobs. And they will ask for FPUC. LA, do you have an FPUC? That's $600 on top of your unemployment benefits. The wonderful unemployment boost? No, it doesn't exist anymore. Doesn't exist. No, they got rid of it last year. Do you have PUA? I got laid off as an independent contractor in August of 2022. No, I don't have that. Doesn't exist. They got rid of it 2 years ago. My small business is having problems getting people in the store. Do you have money for me? No, I don't. EIDL loans and EIDL grants don't exist anymore. I have these. Thank goodness I do. A June 2022 fourth stimulus check is available for you, and we're going to go over all this incredible money in the second half of this video. You're not going to see this anywhere else. You're not going to see this in print media. You're not going to see this in cable news. You're not going to see this in your local newspaper. You're not going to see this on your front porch talking to your neighbor. You're not going to see this anywhere else, because this is the result of hours of research. And this is the result of you, the purple power, who pounds and get monstrous sums of money when available. They're coming up in the second half. And that is those June 4 stimulus checks now in every U.S. state. Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, become a member. Step 3, get that incredible newsletter. Now, let me turn to another changing story before we go over those checks, which is really the result of bad leadership at the White House. Ron Klain. Sorry, Ron, I'm throwing you under the bus. The president's chief of staff really just strategized wrong about this one. Joe Biden, when running for the president of the United States, said he would do $10,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. He said it, $10,000. Great, it's $10,000 you don't have to pay. Just do it the first day you come into office. He didn't. So what did he do? He had Liz Warren and Chuck Schumer basically go on attack for months on end. 50,000, do 50,000, do 50,000, making videos and press conferences and over again. He looked on the defensive, Joe Biden. Should have done $10,000. What were Liz and Chuck Schumer trying to do? Trying to convince the president to do 50,000. Did he ever change? No. In a year and a half, Joe Biden has never changed his position, $10,000. So, what happened this last week? I told you going into last week that I had inside reports that the president was meeting with advocates for student loan debt forgiveness, and he is going to repeat, I'll do $10,000. That's all I'm going to do. Take it or leave it. And that he was holding it for the midterm elections, but he was also potentially holding it because the advocates didn't like the number. They thought it was too small. So what happened? This is an example of how Ron Klain is not running the White House correctly. The advocates came to the White House. Obviously, we knew they were not going to like 10,000. Obviously, we knew they were going to ask for 50,000. They came in the White House asking for 50,000. The president got upset. He said, no, I'm not doing 50,000. I'll do $10,000. They left, and guess what they did? The worst thing you could possibly do. They ran the story off the record to a major news publication, basically running my reporting and saying, hey, just like I said, the offer's $10,000. We said it's a slap in the face, Mr. President. He said, I don't care. I'm only doing 10,000. And he got all the bad press you could imagine from it, including protests. This is why Ron Klain has not run this White House correctly. The president should have just done the $10,000 if that's all he wanted to do. Day one in the administration, move on to something else like SS-300. Now it looks like a battleground, and it looks like a lot of backlash. The offer reportedly in the White House this last week was $10,000 for individuals who make $150,000 or less this last year and married couple who make $300,000 or less that year. It's not a law, it's just an offer. And the negative press coming out of it is really bad. Ron Klain, you did a really bad job on this. The president should have just done the $10,000 a year ago, and we should have just all moved on. Now, the SS-300 is another part of the equation that simply you would think maybe the president's going to learn from what he did so wrong for the student loan debt forgiveness. If the backlash on the student loan debt forgiveness is so obvious, why not just do the SS-300? Joe Biden at joebiden.com promised to swap your benefits benchmark from COLA to inflation. Inflation's tracking at 8%. At 8%, you get $200 more per month because Jay Powell isn't getting it down quick enough. Joe, make the phone call. Hashtag Joe, make the call. Take this video, share it on social media. Tag Joe Biden. Hashtag Joe, make the call. Hashtag LALATE. Hashtag Purple Power. Advocate for that SS-300. Now is the time because Jay Powell is coming in with those interest rate spikes in the next few weeks. Yeah, he'll get down inflation a little bit. He ain't going to get off down to 2% like he said. Over the last few months, I said inflation is going to come at 4% later this year. Jay Powell said 2%. I said ridiculousness. And what did Department of Labor say this last week? Also ridiculous. He ain't going to get it down to 2%. It's going to come in at, what do they say, 3.8%. Wow, I'm right on the money again. So the great news is that if Joe Biden made that swap from coal into inflation, you get that additional $300, not just this year, but a lifetime. There you go. June 2022, lots of money. First, the opportunity for that SS300, then the opportunity for the Build Back Better Act, then the opportunity for that student loan debt forgiveness. But we're not going to do opportunities right now. We're getting checks right now. Reality check checks. Yes, reality check. I got checks right now. Not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, not 5 years from now, not 5 holidays from now, right now. A fourth stimulus check is now in every U.S. state. I'm going to show you how to get those incredible checks by direct deposited a June 2022 check. And we ain't talking about a few pennies. We're talking about monster checks. Step 1, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. And step 3, get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday. And step 4, stay for the second half because we're going to be going over those big checks. Then I'll give you guidance about that recession. We'll go over the latest details on the price of gasoline you're seeing at the pump this Memorial Day weekend, why it's not done going up. It's going even higher. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, we got a lot coming up this morning's live edition, special edition, about those June 2022 checks. But first, here's a little bit about the members community page. See you back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now for Memorial Day weekend and Memorial Day from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Good morning. How are you? I am live on air. That is stock footage. The beaches are going to be incredibly packed in just an hour, if not right now. Hope you're having a beautiful day. If you have not gotten that 4 stimulus check in every U.S. state, that June 2022 check, step 1, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. And step 3, stay with me for the second half. During the commercial break, there was a very interesting exchange between Crayola and another viewer asking about a Plan C check for Medicare. Let's not confuse the naming system between Check C's covered on this channel and anything from Medicare. So different instruments, different items, but great questions across the board. The details of these big June 2022 checks, I'll step back to the stories of March of this year. In March of this year, a viewer said to me, LA, that Build Back Better Act, they haven't gotten this done. Do you got a check for me? I need a check. And I looked high and low and I found it. That's what I do on this channel. I get people money. I don't just report the money. I get them the money. And where did I find these checks? Where did I find these checks? They are by executive order. There was a very nice comment I got from someone on Facebook this morning that said, how can there be already checks when there has not been a vote? Remember, there's a lot of ways that government can get you checks. 1, the president. 2, the states. 3, the Congress. In these 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state coming up in this right now, they're coming from the president by executive order and from the states anchored based upon those executive orders from the president, not from Congress. So let's go over the details. First, with the eligibility. Longtime viewer Kat says, Ella, you explain eligibility so well, because it is really important. Who qualifies for checks? Let's go over the details. Single individual, 75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, 150,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, go get it. Rent, own, go get it. Children without children, go get it. With barbecue, without barbecue. I can't help you with that one. Sorry, I can't help you if there's a check with or without barbecue. But other than that, I can help you with everything else. Let's go over all these incredible checks. The first check is $6,500 to $12,000. That can get you a lot of barbecue. Let's go over that first check. The checks on this channel, I give a lettering system, so we keep them separated, sort of like the chicken from the ribs on the grill. Keep them separated. Here we go. There is check A, $6,500 to $12,000 check. It's a four-symbol check in every U.S. state. Single individual, 75,000 or less, go get it. Married couple, 150,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, go get it. It's called the Homeowners Weatherizing Grant Check. How do you get this? Very simple. Step one, subscribe. Go right into this video and hit that subscribe button. Step two, become a member. There's a link under the video. Join today and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Step three, get that newsletter. Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system. Programming note, yes, it will be delivered today, even though that today is a holiday. So no one has asked me that yet, but I expect that question to be coming. So how do we get that check A? Go down in the membership newsletter, which you get, and go find the description of check A, almost at the top of the membership newsletter. And there it is. It describes it. It tells you a little bit more about it, the eligibility, and then has the link. Yes, you're applying online for check A. So simple. You're going right online, apply for check A. You can do it with your phone. Go in and go get it. Congratulations to all the incredible viewers who have gotten this check A, a June 2022 check, or got it in May, or got it back in as early as March. We've been having this check on this channel since March of 2022. But you're not done there. You're going to go get a check B. Whoa. Look at that number. That is not a typographical error. You are not seeing double because you've had too much corn on the cob. That is a real amount of money. $15,000 to $80,000. Average view of this channel is getting $66,000 to $80,000. This is the homeowners grant check. For stimulus in every U.S. state, 75,000 less, yes. Married couple, 150,000 less, yes. And if you're on benefits, go get it. How do you get this? Step one, you know the routine. Subscribe. Step two, become a member. Join on the video. And then step three, get that membership newsletter. Go right down to where you find check A, check B, and there's a link. Click the link and go apply. And congratulations, the incredible viewers have gotten that money. But we're not done there yet. Oh no, baby. We are going to get some MSC, baby. Check C. Whoa. Yes, this is rent. This is rent for my renters, averaging $2,000 a month for 12 months. MSC, baby. It's also rent, utilities, mortgages, and more. This is money we have been doing on this channel since December of 2020. This is money we have been doing on this channel since December 2020. Then it was called Purple. Later, it was codified under third stimulus with monster sums of money. And viewers got on average $45,000. And now it is called Check C. It is the residue of that third stimulus money. How do you get this? How do you get this incredible check C? You know the routine. Step one, subscribe. Step two, become a member. Step three, go down on membership newsletter till you find check C. When you find check C, it'll tell you who to call, what to say, where to do it, and how to do it. It is not an online application. It is phone calling. So there you go. Go get those incredible check C's. Someone was in the a live chat this morning on Early Mornings LA, which ran a little bit later. And one viewer said, has anyone gotten check C on this channel? Yeah, just a few. How much money have we gotten for check C? Let's think. I think about $25 million. I think we've gotten maybe about $25 million because this channel's gotten about $50 million overall. But most of the money has been from this Purple, which became third stimulus, which is now Check C. It's just monster sums of money. Viewers have been getting this since December 2020. How many viewers overall have gotten it? Probably tens of thousands. Tens of thousands. We've been doing it for a year and a half. And this channel does a lot of traffic, and I've had a lot of success stories. And I started to make graphics of the success stories at a time when there were just a few, and then there was so many that I just stopped making graphics of the success stories. The success stories were monster sums of money for rent, and then they grew for SNAP and then utilities. Let's just take a look back at some of the success stories at the time so you get an idea of how many people have gotten these sums of money. Just astronomical sums. Here is the rent. Then Mark's brother-in-law got the SNAP, got the utilities of 15,000. Here's the combos. This was Nisi then. She's at over 50,000 approximately now. She keeps on getting another $8,000 every few days. Here's Mark. He was at 32,000. Then he went to 50,000. Then he went to 100,000. Then he went to 166 because he got check B. Lorraine, I think I have her here somewhere. She was at 105. Now she's at 120. So the success story of the viewership is you. You have gotten these monster checks since the very first days of December 2020, and you continue to do so. You continue to go back and get these big checks. And so if you've had a success story in recent days, send it to me on private message on Facebook. I'll feature it on air this coming week. We always need that success stories. Inspires other people. If you're in the live chat, post your success story, whatever it is, whether it's $100 or $10,000. Go get it. Now, let's recap and let me give you guidance on something else. How do you get these four stimulus checks in every U.S. state, June 2022, direct deposit? Step 1, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. Step 3, get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alerts. So at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you're going to get 2 alerts. One is for a show, Stream Stimulus, that airs at that time, and the other one is for the newsletter. It'll say New LA Post, and then the first line will say newsletter. You'll know it's a newsletter. It has little pictures of little mailboxes. And it'll say go to the post, click it and you go right on the post, and there you go. That's the newsletter. Now for some viewers, they have absolutely adored this new video I made. It's a self-help video just about the newsletter, how to find it, how to open it, how to manipulate it, how it works. So if you want to watch that video and you want to see the link of it, it's a YouTube video, send me a private message on facebook.com/LALATE News, and I'll send you the link to that helpful video that explains how to use the newsletter. You're paying a lot of money for gasoline today. Yeah, it's that Memorial Day weekend. You're paying a lot of money for gasoline. It is going to go higher, a lot higher. Let me tell you what's going on. This is breaking news. It started on Friday. If you remember, you got the alert from me. It's very, very fluid. It's changing by the hour. I'm trying to track it. I'll have more details on it on Evenings I Like tonight. The price of gasoline will go higher because of 2 events happening. One, there is a deal that's supposed to be signed yesterday. I didn't check the news this morning. I couldn't find it. I did check. I couldn't find it. I'm going to look again. It's out of Brussels, not here. And the Western Allies meeting at a European Union conference to ban Russian oil for once. And good. They had been trying this for weeks and weeks and weeks. And finally, this Sunday, before a conference starts, which goes on for 3 days. And the European Commission, which is at issue, led by President Ursula von der Leyen, is set to get this approved, with Hungary, Slovakia, and Czech Republic as the waiver countries. This will bring the price of gasoline up. Or is it already up? Yeah. The news of this drove the price of gasoline, the international benchmark, which is the international price of Brent crude, through the roof Friday night. Through the roof Friday night. 120 a barrel Brent crude from 111 much of this entire week. Absolutely astronomical. Not the price of gasoline you're paying, not Memorial Day weekend, no, because the Memorial Day weekend price was already high since last week. This price of Brent crude went through the roof, and this is very scary. Why? Because I said it was going to go to 120 based upon another factor about to happen in June, and that factor hasn't happened yet. So when that factor happens, yes, 130, maybe. I mean, this is out of control. It could go the international price of Brent crude to 130 when the Chinese lockdown ends. The Chinese lockdown for that Omicron subvariant is about to end in early June. When it does, the international price of Brent crude 130 is my prediction. Folks, this is a nosebleed. This is just out of control. Now, That means how much you're going to pay. Well, the US AAA national average unleaded today, I don't know. I didn't check the last 24 hours, but it was like 454, 464. And it's $7 here in Los Angeles. Some places it's $8. I cannot find anything under 620. And so 454 may, be right next to the wells in Texas, but it's not most people are not paying 454. A lot of people are paying $7. Folks, this is where we go into our final minutes of analysis today. My final minutes of analysis today about this economy is, if you've seen a lot of bubble environments of the US economy before, you know when a bubble is happening. You sort of look at it and say, this ain't making sense. This ain't making sense. And I gotta tell you that the decreased productivity of the US worker that doesn't want to work that much anymore and that is spending gasoline like it's going out of style makes me worried about what's at issue. When you see the price of gasoline out of control, you would think most people are not driving, most people are not going away for the holidays, most people are staying and conserving their money. When you see the worries about the recession kicking in, you would think that most people are being very conservative on their spending. The spending is so strong at the moment. The consumption of the gasoline at these monstrous prices is so prolific at the moment. And the notion that you can work really less and get laid off and not worry because there's another job out there is this strange sort of circular everything is perfect environment. You haven't heard it before from me on this channel until today. This circular everything is beautiful and everything is perfect environment is where you get a bubble. And the bubble detail tonight on these, I will go over the auto industry where they've jacked up the prices, thinking you were going to buy the car, and you didn't, and now they're not selling the cars. The housing industry where they've jacked up the home prices, and you're not buying, and they think you were, and that you aren't. And that type of bubble-like environment is rolling out left and right. One thing I noticed this weekend here in Los Angeles is when you look at hospitality, I guess that's the word for hospitality. When you look at restaurants, when you look at night venues, when you look at anything that is socially driven activity, social engagement places, they're empty. They are empty. I got to tell you, this is 2022. And I know that it feels longer, this COVID, but it's really been 3 years. We did not have a normal Memorial Day weekend for venues in 2020. We did not have it in 2021. And so this is really the first normal non-COVID Memorial Day weekend since 2019. So if you're a person who likes to go out and go to restaurants and act and engage in social activities in the afternoons or evenings, think back to what it'll look like in 2018. And then if you went out this weekend, think about what it'll look like this weekend. It's really empty. It's really, really empty. How empty is it? I got to tell you, the commerce I saw this Memorial Day weekend really looked like 2021. This does not look like 2019. Let me give you an example. Places that I would normally see have 600 people in line, that would normally have capacity of 2,000 people, have 85 people. I'm not kidding. It's just not even close. It's not even down, 20%. It's literally looks exactly like 2021. The capacity levels of hospitality here in Los Angeles is so dramatically down in 2021 that there's something really kicking in. Now, I know, I know there's a back and a flip and a left and a right to this. You're going to see outside that everyone has a brand new car that they bought last year. They spent that money. You're going to see that there's a lot of people outside that are, I'm not going to really go to work this week. There'll always be a job for me. I don't have to worry about a job. There'll always be a job. That sort of bubble-like environment. The person that bought the house and says, you know what, I will still be able to sell the house. No, last Friday we learned that this is the worst time to sell a house in nearly 2 years, that they have to slash the prices down 5 times in the last, that the average seller of a home right now has had to reduce the house price 5 times to sell it. So I really, really smell bubble. I really smell bubble. And here is a personal insight that you're not going to see really anywhere else. This is why you watch this channel. This is why I love interacting with you live on air. In the tech bubble of the late 1990s, there was a company that had a corporate party. And the corporate party was not so exclusive. So if you just sort of were somewhere else, you can get an invite to it. So the corporate party was at the House of Blues, which you all remember. Very, very few of them. I don't even know. Maybe it's all gone. I don't remember. But at the House of Blues, Sunset Strip. And you walked in. And in the true spirit of Memorial Day weekend, there's a great story. It was barbecue ribs unlimited for 6 hours. It was food for hours and hours. It was literally 10 hours of free food. You never saw such expenditure on a party. What was I thinking when I was on that side eating that food at that party? I thought this party, they must have spent $250,000 just on the party. Guess what happened? Guess what happened to that company? It declared bankruptcy 2 days later. It declared bankruptcy 2 days later. And it was the start really of the bubble, of the tech bubble. This is what's really in my flavoring of what I sense going on. I really just sort of sense this sort of feel kicking in. And that's why when people come to the White House and say, you know, a $10,000 student loan debt forgiveness is a slap in the face. You know, it ain't just $4 he's offering. He's offering you $10,000. That is why when I get your checks direct deposit in the month of June 2022, I need you to get them. I want you to get them. I need you to push. I need to put fire under your feet. Step 1, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. Step 3, get that incredible newsletter. Monday through Friday, and yes, it will be coming out tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Get those June 2022 checks. I do believe that financial carnage is 3 months away. I just really see that bubble-like environment out there, and I really do believe it's about to burst. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, thank you for joining me on a special Memorial Day live broadcast. Coming up next is noontime at 11 a.m. or 11:15. This video will automatically take you there. Then we got the 1 o'clock, the 3 o'clock afternoon shows. The evenings are like brand new tonight at 5 o'clock. And then we have 6, 7, 8, 9 as well. And then our overnight live show as well. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to become a member. Tell your friends and family, come on over. Thank you for all the incredible new membership. Thank you for all the kind wishes. Always keep smiling. Always keep it positive. And never burn the barbecue. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, be safe, be pleasant, and be in festive mood. It's a beautiful Memorial Day weekend. I look forward to seeing you all throughout the day. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, thank you for joining me on a beautiful Mornings LA. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day. Always stay focused, always stay motivated, always stay on point. And when there's a push at issue, grab every check that's available. Don't wait. Get money when that money is in front of you, because you never know when the economy may change. You never know when the situation may evolve to something dramatically different. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.